What's up, you guys? Welcome to or back to the channel where we focus on all things finance and real estate related. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing student loans, but specifically student loan forgiveness and the likelihood that the Biden administration will provide assistance to those battling student loan debt. If this interests you, do me a favor and tap that like button and consider subscribing for more related content. Alright, Joe, so as of now, we know that Joe Biden is expected to ask Congress to immediately cancel $10,000 in student loan debt for all federal student loan borrowers, as well as extend the payment moratorium on federally backed student loans that's scheduled to lapse later this month. But you may be wondering, will debt forgiveness pass both houses of Congress? And to answer your question, all things are possible, but there's no guarantee it will happen. A poll last year from the Pew Project on borrower success found that Americans are worried about re-entering payment on their student loans. Matter of fact, nearly 9 in 10 of those who were surveyed agreed that many student loan borrowers will have difficulty paying their student loans in our current economic environment, and 67% believe that when borrowers struggle to pay back their student loans, it can negatively affect our economy. On top of that, 25% of those who were surveyed said that they feel insecure about their financial stability at the moment. With that being said, guys, Biden has stated that on day one of his presidency, he will direct the Department of Education to extend the pause on student loan payments and freeze interest for millions of Americans with federal student loans. Now, we don't have the details on how long it will be extended, but if I had to make an educated guess, I would say that it will likely be extended through summer of this year. Unfortunately, this does not apply to private loans, so this applies strictly to federal loans. However, we do know that Biden favors making it easier for borrowers to discharge their student debt through bankruptcy. Well, just so you know, this would impact about 45 million student loan borrowers who collectively owe $1.7 trillion of student loan debt. If Joe Biden and Congress went forth in canceling $10,000 in student loan debt, it would help about 16 million people, which is about 1/3 of all borrowers. Now, you may be saying, well, wait a minute, Joe. Didn't I hear something about $50,000? You would be correct. Earlier this year, Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren have stated that Joe Biden could cancel $50,000 of student loan debt by executive order. Now, there's a lot of debate as to the legality of this claim and exactly how this proposal would be played out in the real world in terms of practicality. Because if the executive order was to be ruled unconstitutional, the government would have an administrative mess on its hands, especially if it had to restore debt that had already been erased. With that being said, guys, Biden has stated multiple times that he would like Congress to pass legislation to forgive the debt instead of using an executive order. So you may be saying, okay, Joe, well, what's the problem? Biden and the Democratic Party will control the House, Senate, and executive branch. Easy peasy. Well, guys, it's not that easy. Now, Democrats will hold the Senate majority by the slimmest of margins, 50-50, with Vice President Kamala Harris serving as the tie-breaking vote. To avoid a filibuster that could jeopardize passage of a student debt relief bill, the Senate would require 60 votes. That means that 9 Republican senators would have to support large-scale debt cancellation. And from what we know, the Republicans are not in favor of any major spending bills, especially any that are going to add to the national debt. This has been seen time and time again in the most recent stimulus package negotiations. Another option is a legislative procedure known as budget reconciliation, which could pass student debt relief legislation with a simple Senate majority of 51 votes. However, this process has its limitations as well. Democrats can only make use of this procedure 3 times over the next 2 years. And it's also likely that Republican senators would try to block student debt relief on the ground that it's not related to budget changes, which is a requirement for reconciliation legislation. So if you're someone out there with student loan debt, my best advice for you would be to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, meaning prepare to make those payments if necessary. We do know that the government will be busy with the impending impeachment trial of Donald Trump. They're also going to be working to get additional stimulus legislation passed. So who knows where the student loan debt legislation will rank in the number of priorities. It is very possible that some sort of student loan forgiveness could come, but whether that will be this year, next year, or never, We don't know at the moment. Comment below, what are your thoughts on the student loan debt crisis, and do you favor student loan forgiveness? And if you are in favor of student loan forgiveness, how much should be forgiven and under what circumstances? If you found value in this video, do me a favor and tap that like button and share it with others on social media. It really helps to support and grow the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell as I'm posting valuable new content every week. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.